In today's video, we're playing a practice match against Nitai. Now, this is the second time that I've played Nitai. Last time ended in a third set tiebreaker with Nitai winning 7-10 in that tiebreaker, so it was a really close match. So I definitely had to bring out the camera equipment, and this is also my last practice match before I start my UTR verified matches. I believe I'll have 4 verified matches over the course of about a month and a half. So expect some matches from there, but they'll be a little bit more intense, or at least they should be a little bit more intense, because, well, they're verified and it matters for my UTR score, and we're trying to get my UTR score, higher. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I wanted to take this time and talk to you about my game. It's been a couple months since I've posted any matches against anybody, so there's a lot of changes that have been happening, down to even my racket. I've changed my racket. Oh, and shout out to Merrick USTA for commenting in the last video. Wanted to make a note of that. You'll see a drop shot here in just a second. Not too shabby, huh? Merrick? Not too shabby, huh? There's a couple other drop shots that I hit throughout this match, so look out for them. I think every single one I win the point, so I think Nitai gets to every single one of them. I don't hit any winners off the drop shot, but that's okay. As long as I put him in a corner and it's a little bit harder for him to win off that, then I'm happy. Yeah, Nitai, he's a pretty lengthy dude, very quick, so he was getting to every single ball. Wasn't too many winners throughout this match. But moreover, about, I guess, the racket changes. So we changed over to the Bobble at 98 from the Aero Pro drive that I was using. I'm liking the racket so far. I think it's a little bit more aggressive. It's a smaller racket head, but that hasn't seemed to affect my mishits per se. Like, I'm not framing much more. Or if anything, I'm probably framing a little bit less. I feel like I'm making really good contact with the ball, so everything's great with the racket thus far. Talking a little bit about my footwork next, I think my footwork could use a little bit improving. You'll see in this video there's a couple moments where Nitai catches me flat-footed and puts the ball like right at my ankles. I think overall I just need to stand back a little bit more off that baseline so that I can approach my shots more. I think I'm often hitting like kind of standing flat-footed and just using my arms and my shoulders to whip the ball around. But if I can get a little bit more space and walk into the shot, I think I'll generate a lot more power that way. And yeah, and then just overall just split stepping a little bit more. I think I'm not split stepping when my opponent is hitting the ball, and timing that right is really important. So finding that rhythm in a match is, yeah. But otherwise, I think my forehand is looking really nice. I've been kind of taking out some of the spin. I used to hit with much more like heavy top spin, and I've kind of been changing that to hit a lot flatter. I felt like I was just giving people too much time, too much opportunity to stay in the point. And so I'm flattening it out a little bit. Even my backhand I'm flattening out a little bit. And I think it's been working out really well for me. I'm excited to do those UTR matches, those verified matches, and see how I perform in those. But so far so good, I would say. And then on my backhand, this is by far the best I've been hitting my one-handed backhand ever. It's feeling really great. I'm very confident in it right now. I will say my match last week against Nitai, I probably hit the backhand too much. I think there's definitely a balance between slicing the ball and hitting the one-handed backhand. You got to find the right moments. Like even Roger Federer wouldn't hit a big backhand every single shot, especially when it was an important moment in the match. Almost always during important moments, Federer was hitting slices. So, I think I can take a note out of his book on this one and tell myself it's okay to slice every now and again. But nonetheless, it's feeling really good, the backhand. So, when I do have it and I can hit it in my sweet spot, I'm gonna take that shot. And then let's see, some other shots that I've been working on or that feel a lot better at the moment. My overheads, I'm feeling a lot more confident. I think I only hit one in this match, but it was a winner, so that's feeling really good. Here in Nitai didn't like the fact that I broke my strings and I still won the point. He was pretty upset about that, but nonetheless, he fought really hard in this game, so it was a really good game. Yeah, but anyways, I'm not much of a serve and volleyer or anything like that. I'm not coming up to the net a whole bunch, but I've been playing a little bit more doubles, and that's getting me very comfortable with volleying and hitting overhead. So those two shots in particular are gaining confidence, and I feel like I'm making a lot better contact with the ball there. So I'm really excited to do some more competitive matches. I think my UTR is going to be going up very soon, and I'll definitely showcase the UTR growth. I just recently purchased their paid version, I guess. Yeah, sure. Their paid version of the UTR app. I just did that, so I get to see kind of like my growth overall and some different things like that. So I'll be able to look at my opponents, I guess, a little bit more, which for me isn't a good thing. I always psych myself out whenever I look up my opponent. I'm like, oh, they're better than me on this, and whatever. So maybe that's not a great thing, but it'll be great to show you guys where I'm at starting this year and where we go by the end of the year and the UTR rating, which I think is a whole lot better rating system than the USTA. But that's another story. Some other things I wanted to talk about were my serves. I think my kick serves are doing so good right now. I'm able to place them really, really well, probably within like a foot or two of where I'm thinking I'm gonna hit the ball. That's where my kick serve is going. So it's looking really good, and I'm not really hitting too many flat serves anymore. I think I'm getting better on the flat serves, and the percentage is going up. But at the moment, with how good I'm hitting my kick serves, I would just rather hit the kick serve. And, just placement is so much better than power in a lot of ways. And, yeah, that can't say enough about that, I don't think. All right, last thing I wanted to mention was kind of like self-umpiring in tennis. It's really hard to do. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about baseball, but in baseball, you have an umpire and you have the batter, and there's a reason why those two jobs are split. Sorry, look at this backhand. Ooh-wee! That's a nice backhand. But yeah, there's a reason why those two jobs are split. And in tennis, we don't have that luxury, and it can be really difficult. Like this ball here, that ball was definitely out. His serve was out, but I waited too long to call it out, so I just kept on playing with it. Even Nitai thought he was kind of waiting for me to call it out, and he never got the call that it was out, so he played on it. Stuff like that happens, and it's just hard. I don't like calling a ball out late when I'm returning serve, because I don't want them to feel like I'm cheating, like, oh, my return wasn't all that great, so let me just call his serve out, and that way I get a second serve. And a lot of people do that, so it's just hard. But I gotta work on it a little bit more, just finding my voice when I think a ball is in or I think a ball is out. Yeah, so that's kind of why I wanted to talk about that. It's like me, I got to improve on when I call that, and my timing on that is kind of important, because it can be very, very frustrating. I think it happened maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe a little bit less than a handful of times in this match. So we don't want that happening too often in our competitive matches, just to be fair for our opponent, and yeah, hopefully our opponent is fair with us as well. But anyways, enough of me babbling on about umpiring. It's really frustrating in tennis that we're self-umpires, but it is what it is. Anyways, enough of that. Thank you so much for watching up until this point. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.